Hello everyone, I'm ZHENG ZHIZHONG with matching number 160775, and here is the presentation for my personal individual project with topic digital engagement and its impact on health behavior and consumer trust. Nowadays, many Malaysians use digital health tools like apps and social media to get health tips and check their health. These tools help people live healthier lives, but there are problems like fake health news, privacy worries, and not everyone can access them. We need to understand both the benefits and risks so doctors and app makers can help people use these tools better. Then let's talk about the problem statement. While more people use digital tools to get health information and advice, it's still unclear how digital engagement leads to real and long-term changes in health behavior. This study aims to find out how personal beliefs and online activities work together to build trust, support social connections, and help people make lasting healthy changes. And here is my research questions, and I have 9 research questions. For example, how does perceived severity affect social engagement? What is the relationship between perceived susceptibility and social engagement? What is the impact of perceived barriers on social engagement? What is the relationship between perceived benefits and social engagement? Does social engagement affect health behavior change, and so on? And here are my research objectives, and I have 9 research objectives as well. For example, to study the relationship of self-efficacy between perceived severity and social engagement. To study the relationship of self-efficacy between perceived susceptibility and social engagement. To study the relationship of self-efficacy between perceived barriers and social engagement. To study the relationship of self-efficacy between perceived benefits and social engagement. Now I would like to talk about perceived severity and perceived susceptibility. Perceived severity means how serious we think a health problem is. If people feel a health problem is very serious, they are more likely to do something to stay safe. While perceived susceptibility means how likely we think we are to get sick. When people feel they are at higher risk, they are more likely to take steps to protect themselves. Then let's talk about perceived barriers and perceived benefits. Perceived barriers are the reason why people feel it is hard to live a healthy life. For example, some people think they do not have enough time, or they do not feel motivated. Others may not trust health information they see online. And perceived benefits are what people think they will get if they choose healthy habits. For example, some people believe eating well or exercising will help them feel better or avoid getting sick. Next, I will talk about social engagement and health behavior. First, people decide whether to join online health groups to take part in health discussions based on a few things. They look at the benefits, if they trust the information, and their own motivation to be healthy. Second, online support and interactions can really change what people believe about health. When people see others making healthy choices or get support online, they are more likely to build good habits and stick to them. So being part of online health groups can help people feel supported and more confident about living a healthy life. And self-efficacy means believing you can do something and reach your health goals. People who have strong self-efficacy are more likely to try healthy habits, even when they see risks or have challenges. So building self-efficacy is very important for anyone who wants to live a healthier life. And here is my research framework. What's more, regarding the methodology and population and sampling technique, the target population is Malaysian and the resident in Malaysia, and we collected 171 responses by Google Form. The sampling ratio is 19. Then let's talk about the results. There 52.6% are males and 47.6% are female. Most of the respondents aged 36 to 47, and degree and master holders together make up 92.4% of the respondents. Now let's look at the reliability analysis. First, our questionnaire has 47 items. We checked the reliability using Combat Alpha. The result was 0.86, which is a high value. This means our questionnaires are very consistent and the data we collected is reliable. Because of these strong results, we can trust the findings from our research and move on to further analysis with confidence. Then regarding the correlation analysis, our results show strong positive relationship between the main variables in our study. For example, social engagement is closely linked with perceived severity, perceived susceptibility, perceived barriers, perceived benefits, and self-efficacy. This means that when people feel more engaged online, their beliefs and confidence about health issues are stronger. We also see that all these variables have positive relationships with actual health behavior change. Overall, these findings suggest that social and personal factors work together to influence healthier choices. Let's look at the descriptive analysis here. All the main variables in our study have high average scores, about 5.1 out of 6. This means that overall, respondents have positive attitudes and behaviors when it comes to health. We also found that people reported high levels of social engagement and strong self-efficacy. This shows that most participants are active in online health communities and feel confident about managing their health. After it, our regression analysis identifies several significant predictors of health behavior change. This includes perceived severity, with a beta value of 0.242, and perceived susceptibility, with a beta of 0.211. Perceived barriers also has a significant effect, with a beta of 0.334, while perceived benefits stand out as the strongest predictor, with a beta value of 0.516. Social engagement is also significant, with a beta of 0.47. Additionally, the interaction between self-efficacy and perceived severity is significant, but with a negative effect, as shown by a beta value of -0.311. On the other hand, some predictors are not significant in our studies. These are the interactions between self-efficacy and perceived susceptibility, perceived barrier, and perceived benefits. Then let's move to discussion. Perceived severity, perceived susceptibility, and perceived barrier and perceived benefits are all positively related to social engagement since their p-values are all less than 0.05. So hypotheses 1, 2, 3, 4 are all accepted. In addition, social engagement is positively related to health behavior change since its p-value is also less than 0.05. What's more, the interaction between self-efficacy and perceived severity are positively related to health behavior change since the p-value equals 0.007, which is less than 0.05. But the interaction between self-efficacy and perceived susceptibility, self-efficacy and perceived barrier, self-efficacy and perceived benefits are all negatively related to health behavior change because their p-values are 0.135, 0.526, and 0.713 respectively, all more than 0.05. So hypotheses 7, 8, 9 are all rejected. Finally, here are the main points for my study. First, we should encourage more people to use digital health tools like apps and social media. Second, we need to make these tools easy to use and safe for everyone, so no one is left out. Third, it's important to build trust by making sure the information is true and private. Fourth, health advice should be personalized for each person. Lastly, joining online health groups can help people support each other. In conclusion, strengthening digital engagement, removing barriers, building trust, personalizing support, and promoting social interaction are important steps to improve health behaviors in the digital age. That's all from me. Thanks for your listening.